Hearing on the amount of child support.
Morning, this is call number 2010-71503. In the interest of Byron Stevens Jr., all parties, please raise your right hands to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
I do.
All right, ma'am, please state your name and your relationship to the child.
Good morning. My name is Nicosia Hall, and I'm the mother of Byron Stevens Jr.
All right. Sir, your name and your relationship to the child.
Okay, my name is Byron Stevens. I'm the father of Byron Stevens Jr.
Okay, and for the state.
Angela Jeffries for the Office of the Attorney General, Your Honor.
All right. We've got a petition for confirmation of the non-agreed child support review order. And we're having a hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do we have any stipulations?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
Okay, and so what's the issue?
Yes, the issue is whether the modification should be granted in this case, and also what the child support amount will be and the new medical support will be and court costs.
All right, let's proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, I would ask that the court take judicial notice of the prior order signed October 23rd of 2013. In the court order Mr. Stevens to pay $245 for child support and $50 for medical support, beginning November 1st of 2013.
2013.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Court will take judicial notice of that order.
Thank you, Your Honor. Also, at this time, I would like to read the stipulations into record, Your Honor.
Oh, you do have some stipulations.
Yes. Okay. The parties have stipulated that the child support judgment as of April 30th is $0. The parties have also stipulated that the medical support judgment as of April 30th is $252.94, and that Mr. Stevens will pay that back at $50 per month beginning June 1st of 2021.
Okay.
Now, I have the stipulations, Your Honor.
Okay.
At this time, I would like to offer into evidence, well, I would still offer into evidence the updated pay record, Your Honor, just for evidentiary purposes.
All right. Have you had an opportunity to look at this Exhibit A, the pay record, Ms. Hall? Ms. Hall? Ms. Hall?
Yes, I'm here.
Have you had an opportunity to look at the pay record?
No.
Mr. Stevens, have you had an opportunity to look at the pay record?
Yes, sir.
And do you have any?
You mean like my check stub?
No. The pay record from the Attorney General Child Support Division.
Oh no.
Look like this.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes. I have
Huh?
saw it online.
You have seen it online. Have you seen it, sir?
No, sir.
Did Ms. Jeffries, have you sent it to him online?
Your Honor, I have to check that right quick. I can send it to him right now.
Well,
I didn't, we've already stipulated to the arrears being the arrears, but I can send it to him, Your Honor.
well, what do we need this for then? If we have the stipulation.
That's fine, Your Honor. We don't have to admit it.
All right, it's not admitted.
Thank you. So at this time, Your Honor, I would like to offer into evidence then what is marked as State's Exhibit A. It should be Mr. Stevens, I'm sorry, income or his paycheck stub, sir.
Okay, I think there were some more, Maria, some others. Let me see all that. No.
I believe she was
Oh, you're
provided
talking,
via email.
okay, it's on the,
Yeah.
okay, I see. It's
Yes,
the pay slip.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Stevens, you've seen a copy of that pay slip, obviously, correct?
Yes, sir.
Have any objections of me looking at it or being introduced into evidence?
Sorry, say it again.
You have any objections to me
Oh,
looking
no,
at
sir.
your pay slip? And Ms.
No,
Hall, do you
sir.
have any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right. This is not being admitted. This is just for purposes of the court to review. Is that correct, Ms. Jeffries, or are you admitted in all this?
I would like to actually admit it, Your Honor.
You have it, you have it marked?
I couldn't, Your Honor, because it couldn't be printed, but if the court just will be willing to look at it and consider it based on the testimony, I'm fine with that as well.
All right, let's proceed.
All right, thank you. The state calls Nicosia Danielle Hall. Ms. Hall, you are the mother of Byron Shimon Stevens, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and how old is Byron at this time?
He's 11.
Okay, and when the last time that you guys were before this court for child support, was it in 2013?
No, it was either February or March of this year.
Okay, and are you
2021.
are you referring to the non-agreed order that you guys did in the office? Is that correct?
Yes. So the last time we appeared in court was 2013.
Okay, and you heard me read into the record that Mr. Stevens at that time was ordered to pay you $245 for child support and $50 for medical support. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, and at this time, you're seeking an upward modification in this case. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and have the needs of your son increased or decreased, would you say, since 2013?
Increased.
Okay.
That order was put in place. He was 3. He's now 11.
Okay. And how do you cover the child on health insurance?
Yes.
How much is the health insurance, ma'am, per month to cover Byron Jr.?
We looked at it, was 102.
102 a month. Okay. And then how much is the dental insurance that you would pay out of your check per month for the dental insurance?
So for the dental and the medical, it was 102 together. So
102.
98 and
Okay.
and 5.
Okay. And you're asking the court to have Mr. Stevens reimburse you for the health and the dental insurance that you cover at this time.
Yes.
Okay. Now, are you aware if Mr. Stevens has a job right now, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. And where do you have personal knowledge where he's working?
From court, he just stated in the last meeting that he works for Estes. But prior to that, no, I was not aware.
Okay. And do you know what he did prior to this job, ma'am, where he was employed prior to this job?
Yes, right. He worked for FedEx and he had 2 jobs. He worked for this company and FedEx.
Okay. And do you know do you have personal knowledge about how much he made at FedEx?
No.
Okay. And you've been seeking an upward modification of this case since what year?
This modification was put in place in 2019.
Okay. And in 2019, to your knowledge,
Or
was
2018. Yeah.
okay. Since that time in 2018, was he working still at FedEx to your knowledge and the other job?
Yes, he was working both jobs. He was working he was working 2 jobs when we appeared in court in 2013 as well. It just he didn't have the check stub from his job. He had just started there.
Okay. And the non-agreed order that you guys did in office, he was still working 2 jobs to your understanding at that time as well, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And were you made aware that he lost one of those jobs?
He did state it when we was at the mediation that he wasn't employed at both.
Okay. And so if any modification should occur today, you believe the court should order an upward modification. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right.
And due to the fact that been 11 years, and it has been an ongoing issue with not reporting wages when he has worked 2 jobs.
Okay, and when you say he's worked 2 jobs and not reported wages, are you talking about between 2013 and now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and if the court was to bill court costs, who do you believe the court costs should be billed against?
Mr. Stevens.
Okay, and with his current job, do you know how many hours a week he works at the current job?
No, currently, the only time we ever speak is here. Far as caring for my child or visiting my child, we do not get any of that. He do not receive any of that. So this is the only time.
Nothing further for this witness at this time. I passed the witness, but I may recall her, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Stevens, do you have any questions for Ms. Hall?
No, sir. I want to make a correction.
I'll let you make a statement.
I'm sorry.
When it's your turn right now, if you have any questions for her, you can ask her any questions that you would like. All right. Call your next witness, Ms. Jeffers.
Thank you. State cause Byron Shimon Stevens. Stevens, you're the father of Byron Shimon Stevens Jr., is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and the last time you actually had a court order in this case was in 2013, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and per the order, you were ordered to pay $245 for child support and $50 for medical, is that correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and at this time, are you seeking a downward modification on this case, sir, or upward modification?
Down.
Okay, and what has changed in your circumstance where you think you should qualify for downward modification?
At the moment, I'm barely getting by with my part-time job.
Okay, and what happened to your full-time job, sir?
My full-time job. Before I was issued a court order, I had to resign because I was gonna get fired. So they gave me the option to resign.
Okay. Now you say you were going to get fired if you didn't resign. Why was that option presented to you, sir?
Because I was working 2 jobs and I overslept. And at the job, if you don't call in for 2 hours after your shift started, you'll get no call, no show. So, and that's what.
Okay, and so they terminated you based on that. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. I had to resign instead of getting terminated so I can be able to come back.
Okay, and have you filled an application with them since you resigned from them?
Soon after that, that's when the pandemic hit. So it just.
So, sir, yes or no? Did you fill out a new application to start back up work with them?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and where do you currently work at this time, sir?
I work at Estes Express.
Okay, and what is your job title there, sir?
Dock worker.
Okay, and what type of job is it? What do you perform doing that job?
We load 18-wheeler forklift operator.
Okay, and how much do you make an hour at that job, sir?
$21.80.
Okay, and how many hours a week do you average on that job?
It's anywhere, it fluctuates. It can be 15 to 20 hours a week. It just depends.
All right, and we provided the court a copy of your check stubs, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And it shows your year-to-date on that check stub, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And the last paycheck stub that you showed or submitted to me was a payment date of 5/21 of 2020. Does that sound about right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and the year-to-date on that is showed at $5,369.45. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's your gross earnings. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, you say you only average 15 or 20 hours a week. Why are you limited to 15 or 20 hours a week at this job, sir?
Just not enough work.
Okay.
And since the pandemic, it's just really slow.
Okay. And have you filled out any job applications to other places to try and get full-time work?
Yes, ma'am. I'm currently enrolled in job search program with my probation officer.
How long have
So-
you been enrolled in that job search program, sir?
It's been over 6 months.
Okay, and so in 6 months, you have not been able to obtain full-time employment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any other children under 18, Mr. Stevens?
Yes, ma'am. I have 4 others.
Do you pay child support for those 4 other children?
No, ma'am.
Do they live with you in the household?
No, ma'am. But we together, but we just don't stay in the same household.
Okay. And so 6 months, you have not been able to obtain a job and you were terminated from UPS. And what was your job title at UPS?
At FedEx, I was a dock worker.
At FedEx, I'm sorry, a dock worker. Okay. And how much did you make an hour at FedEx?
I can't hear you.
How much an hour did you make at FedEx, sir?
22.
22. And that was at 40 hours a week. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And based on your check stubs, would you agree on an average based on the year to date that your gross income is about $1,163.38, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And do you
Is
have
that
any
per month?
per month, Your Honor?
All right.
And Mrs. Stevens, do you have any private health insurance available for your son?
I don't have any insurance. No, ma'am.
Okay. And you don't have any dental insurance available for your son either, is that correct?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And so you believe, based on the fact that you were only able to acquire a part-time job, that the court should modify your order downward, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And if court costs are billed in this case, who do you believe should pay the court costs?
Whoever requested the court order, Nicole Shaw.
Okay. And a couple more questions. When we did the non-agreed order in office in 2019, you said you had lost your job from FedEx at that point. Is that correct?
Yes, before I had lost my job, before I had even had a court order. So
Okay. And when was the actual when was your actual resignation date from FedEx, sir?
I'm not sure the actual date. So,
Okay, but it was in 2019. Is that correct?
yes, ma'am.
So with your current wages, you're able to pay all your expenses, sir, every month?
Yes, it's so. It's hard. No, not really.
Okay. Do you rent or do you own a home, sir?
I stayed in one of my mother's houses. So,
Okay. So you don't pay her any rent for staying there?
not no rent, but I just pay, all the utilities and food and stuff. So.
How much are your utilities per month, sir?
Lights be about 200,
Mm-hmm.
and gas is like 150, and water is just like $30. Just not that much.
Okay. And how much do you pay for groceries, sir?
I mean,
On average.
let me see. What? I say about 3, altogether about 300 or 400.
Okay. All right. And then you have a car note, sir?
No, ma'am.
Okay. How do you get to and from work?
I use Lyft.
Okay. How much do you pay a month Lyft getting to and from work every day?
I pay Lyft. I say about $30 a day.
$30 a day. How many days a week?
5 days.
So it's about $150
I
a
mean,
week.
that's, but yes, ma'am. That's if I go, 5 days. It just.
Okay. So $150 a week for Lyft. Do you have a cell phone, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
How much is your cell phone bill?
$50.
$50. Do you have any other expenses that you have to pay monthly, sir?
Not really. It just whenever my kids need some, whatever I do have now, I try to spend it on them.
Okay, so are you saying with the income you have, you also try and give your other 4 kids something as well?
Try to. It's hard right now. That's why I've been trying to seek, full-time employment.
Okay.
Help out more.
And you said there's no other expenses other than the ones that you gave me that you pay per month.
No, ma'am.
Your Honor, I have nothing for this witness, but I would like to, nothing further for this witness, so I pass the witness.
And Ms. Hall, do you have any questions for Mr. Stevens?
No, sir.
All right. Ms. Jeffries?
I just would like to recall Ms. Hall for one quick question.
All right.
Ms. Hall, do you believe that Mr. Stevens is intentionally unemployed at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and in the past, has he ever resigned from his job when he knew that you were seeking a modification?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, do you have an example for this court of times when he's resigned from a job to avoid paying more child support?
Yes, he have stated it before, and also when we was in the mediation, he also walked out of the mediation saying, if you're going to start they're not supposed to take out both of his checks, and if they're going to take out both of his checks, he's not going to give me anything. And that was when we was at court on the Beltway.
Okay. I have nothing further for this witness, Your Honor. I pass the witness.
Mr. Stevens, do you have any questions for Ms. Hall?
No, sir.
All right, Ms. Jeffries, any further witnesses?
No further witnesses, Your Honor, but I would just like to offer some comments to the court before you make your ruling.
You have a final argument?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead. Your
Honor, Mr. Stevens, before this order was done, worked at FedEx. As he testified, making $22 an hour, 40 hours a week. He also stated that he had this part-time job. Mr. Stevens had to resign from that job due to his actions, right? So if the court should approve a modification, we do not believe that it should change from what it's currently set at, which $245 at their minimum, because Mr. Stevens' actions is the cause for him losing that job. And although we can't testify or prove per se that he quit that job, it was his actions that caused him to lose that job. Based on his check stubs, that's only 15 hours a week. The gross income in that is $1,163 a month. And then if I do 102 for medical support, the new child support will be $192 per month, Your Honor. If mom continues to cover it. Our belief is that the child support should stay exactly the same, if not increase, because he's also testified in 6 months he's not been able to find a new job with the program that he's currently enrolled in. And I do have questions about him being able to pay all his expenses with the current income that he has. And I would ask finally, Your Honor, that court costs be billed against Mr. Stevens.
Okay, ma'am, do you have anything further you want to say?
No, Your Honor. I'm agreeing with what the attorney stated.
And Mr. Stevens, do you have anything further you want to say?
Yes, sir. I'm trying to see with the court costs, I'm behind on my bills now. How would I be able to pay it?
All right, what is the court cost date?
The court cost date, Your Honor, is July 26, 2021.
All right, the court then orders that the child support modification petition be denied and the court cost to be paid by father not later than July 26, 2021. All other stipulations are approved.
Your Honor, as far as the medical support and the dental support, are you ordering that Mr. Stevens should reimburse mom because she now is covering that at $98 for health insurance and $5 for dental?
What is this through your employer, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
And where are you working?
Harris County Child Protective Services.
And what do you do for them?
I'm the care coordinator. I'm a care coordinator.
You're a care coordinator?
Yes.
Okay. All right, then actually since you didn't specify before, I'm changing my ruling. I'm granting the modification, fathers to pay $102 in cash medical support beginning June 1st, 2021. Court orders no modification on the child support amount, and the court cost to be paid by the father not later than July 26, 2021. All other stipulations are approved. Anything further?
No, Your Honor. May we be excused, sir?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Hall and Mr. Stevens, please log back into that other Zoom. The child support